Hi class, this is JilMac, and I'm your instructor today. Today we're going to be talking about Google collaboration tools. Students know that if they have questions, they can give me a call or they can go out to my website and I can answer any questions. We can dial up and work one-on-one, and I promise that I can do more working one-on-one with you online than I can sitting down beside you, because you are in your home, you are working from your computer, your router, your surroundings, and I can watch your screen and you can watch my screen, and we can ask each other questions. Sometimes we talk on the phone, and sometimes we talk through the online meeting software. So just keep that in mind if you have any questions. So I'm going to bring you out to my computer website, and this is my website. You open a browser. This browser happens to be Chrome, and we're using Chrome because we are doing Google Tools, and Chrome is one of Google Tools. So you type in JILMAC, and Jill has one L. If you type in JILLMAC, you're going to get a different website, but my name only has one L in it. Once you're out there and you see my stained glass windows, and if you scroll down you see my house, you're going to click on the first link on the left navigation, and that's workshops and classes. So this is going to bring you to the workshops web page, and I'm going to blow this up a little bit so you can see it a little bit more. So here's a picture of me. Here's my name. Here's my website again. Remember, JIL with one L. And you can get back to that site by clicking this. On the left navigation are all the different classes. Now, right now, I'm teaching collaboration with Google and Google Tools collaboration and more Google collaboration, as well as for some classes I'm also teaching Microsoft. And for Google collaboration, we're talking a lot about Microsoft, because GoogleDocs and Google Sheets can save as Word files and Excel files and PDF files. So we're talking a lot about them. We're talking about word processing, spreadsheets, forms that collect data like databases, and presentation tools, as well as editing graphics. So I'm going to click on Google Tools, because in Google Tools it's going to show you, I teach for the adult education at Wyndham Regional Career Center, as well as the Community College of Vermont. So when you're working with me with Google Tools and collaboration, you want to send me an email, and you want to use your Gmail account, because your Gmail login is your entrance to the Google set of tools. So this is the class that I'm teaching this semester, and you need to send me, if you're in my class, you need to send me an email, and here's my Gmail account. You can also do it by entering your email address and your name into this form. This happens to be a Google form, and if you type in your name, if I did this, JilMac, and then I would type in my email address, and a valid email address has a couple of characters and then an @ sign, and then a couple more characters, a dot, and then a few more characters. For Gmail, it's going to be gmail.com. If you're working with CCV, your email address is going to be ccv.edu if you're doing something with the school. And then I just submit it. Then that sends it to me so that I can look at everybody's, and I can just go in there. This is what this form looks like. We'll be studying forms in 4 weeks. And if I want to edit this and change some things, I can. We'll be learning how to use forms, but I can also look at the responses, and I can also look at who did them and what their email addresses were. So I get all of this, and I can block copy so I can send people emails and all of that good stuff. So let's go back to Google Tools. So in the first session, what we did in the first session of the class was we did an introduction and a discussion. Oh, look at that. I've got two, intro and discussion, intro and discussion. This happens to be a Google website, so I can just edit it and go down and delete that duplication. So let's just delete that, and I'll save it. And we'll be learning Google Sites, I believe, in week 5. But in session 1, or session 5, in session 1, what does it mean to collaborate? And so whenever I need to go and find what does something mean, I go out to Wikipedia. I love Wikipedia. I've added to Wikipedia, but it's very strict, so it's a little bit hard. You have to do it in all of their formatting. But I like to look and see what they talk about for collaborative software and what does collaborative software mean to Wikipedia. Google Apps is one of them, and if we go out and look at Wikipedia's Google Apps, we're going to find out that Google Apps comprise Gmail and Calendar and Hangouts and Pictures and Google Docs, as well as, well, Google Docs is part of what's called Google Drive, and Google Drive is individual files, word processing, spreadsheet, presentation, forms are all out there on Google Drive, as well as images. So we have a couple of handouts, and the handouts for the classes are up on this Google site, and I can either look at them in a Word format or I can look at them in a Google Doc format. I saved it both ways so that we could look at them. So here's an overview of Google Documents. So if I look at this, I'll look at the Google Doc one. It looks a little bit better, although it's fine either way. And here is all the information. So every handout I give you has my email address as well as my Gmail address. Now all my Gmails, all my Jill@JilMac.com automatically goes to Gmail. And my website is here, my name is here, my picture, for any of those people who aren't really name people that are more face people, I always put my picture because I'm not a name person. You know, I'll remember you and I'll remember what you're doing with your computer and all kinds of things, but I won't remember your name. It's just not a key field in my brain. But if you tell me a little bit about yourself, all that will come flooding back. And you can give me a call Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. till 8 p.m., Saturday and Sunday, 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. And if you need it after that, then we just have to set up a time. So in file management in Google Docs, when you go out to google.com, you can sign in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to narrow this up a little bit. And I'm going to go out to Google. And I'm just going to pull this tab out so that I can be side by side. And I like to be side by side when I'm doing things so that I can look at my instructions on one side and then I can follow them on another side. So I'm going to move this over a little bit. Now I happen to be already logged into my Gmail. So when I go out to Google, you're going to see a picture of me. You're going to see my name. If I click Gmail, I can go to my Gmail and I can see all of the emails that people have sent me and I've sent back and forth. But for now, I'm going to go over to what I refer to as the Rubik's Cube. And in the Rubik's Cube, when you click it, you're going to see all of the applications that it thinks you use the most. You can add to this. These are the ones that I use the most. And most people, although not all, so most people will have Drive somewhere on this first page. If you don't find it here, you can go to More, and you can go to Even More. And Even More will show you all the Google tools. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But for right now, most of you will have Drive here, and you can click it. Now, if you have been using documents, Google Documents, you'll have lots of files or folders. And if you haven't, this would be blank. And it might even give you a little, ask you if you want to do a little tour or something. And so I've created a folder that's going to have all of our computer apps stuff. Actually, that's not the folder I want. So let me open this up a little bit more. And I want to click Last Modified. Last Modified is going to sort it. And here's the one I'm doing for this class, Google Collaboration. If you're taking a CCV class from me, it might be named something else. But I'll tell you what the name of it is. And this is where I am. And this little, I don't know if you can see it, but this has in it, I'll unclick it, this has a little face in it. Let me blow this screen up a little bit more and see if you can see that. So this tells me that that little face, oops, I don't want that. Let's click Last Modified. That little face inside a folder means that I've shared this folder, and I'm sharing this folder with my students. This folder, Google Training, I haven't shared with anyone. It's mine. If someone has shared a folder with you, and I will be sharing folders with you, let me close this. This happens to be my drive. I'm looking at all the files in my drive. But if someone shares a file with you, if you click on Shared with Me, this is going to show you the files that have been shared with you. So once I get your Gmail account, I'm going to share a folder with you. And when you click Shared with Me, you're going to see that folder there. Otherwise, for right now, you're just going to see my drive. So the first assignment is to go in, and let's just, Google Collaborations. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go out to Google. We're going to click on that Rubik's Cube I talked about, and we're going to select Drive, that triangle. And when we create a document, so when we're creating a document here, similar to Word, we're going to click the New button, which is right over here. Here's the New button. And then we're going to select Google Docs from the drop down, because when I click New, I have all these different kinds of documents. And Google Docs is right here. And so when I click on Google Docs, I'm going to open a brand new document. Let me make this a little bit narrower. So this is a new document, and you can see over here on the handout, I'm kind of explaining what this menu system looks like in Google Docs. And it looks like Word 2003, for those of us who remember Word 2003, before Microsoft created the ribbon. So it looks very much like that. I do love the Microsoft ribbon, but for ease and doing things on your computer quickly and doing things on a tablet or a phone, Google Docs is better than Microsoft because it can so easily adapt to all kinds of different appliances, whether it's a computer, a PC, or whatever. So all I want you to do with the first assignment is just say, hi, this is JilMac's first document, or I'll call it Google Doc. And so I want to save it as a name. So after we get through with all of these definitions over here, as well as you could open a template, and you could look at training videos. Oh, I didn't put it in here. But if we want to rename, let's see if I put it in there. Nope, I think it's in the next handout. Let's look in spreadsheets. Creating a spreadsheet. And the next will be, the next document is going to have that other information in it. So we'll just close this for the time being. And we're going to go into the next, how do I share a file or document? Let's open that up so I have it available. Okay, so I'm just going to move that over to the side. And now I'm going to show you. So I've created this document. I don't have to save it. because Google automatically saves it. But I should rename it because right now it's just called untitled document. I can either click in this untitled document and I can say JilMac first doc or something like that. I can do it that way, or I can click file and rename, and that's going to bring me up to that file name. So I've created that file name, and now when I look in my drive, and I can close this, and I look in my drive, and I believe I was in Google Collaborations. Nope, I wasn't. So I go to my drive, and I'm just going to scroll over, and I'm going to click by last modified. And what happens is it works very much like Windows File Manager. I have a lot of folders. It brings up my directories first, and I'll click last modified again and scroll down through. And here is that JilMac's, here's that JilMac first document. So here's that right there. If I were to open it again, and if I wanted to save it in a Word format, I could say File, and then I would say Download as Microsoft Word. And I could download this as Microsoft Word, and it would call it JilMac first doc.docx. So now I have that as a Word document as well as a So what I want to do here is I want to move this. So I want to move this, and I want to put that in a folder where you'll all be sharing it. And so I can go to more actions, and I can move this to, and I want to move it to the Google. I have a lot of folders. Sorry about this. You probably aren't going to have as many. Google, and I believe it's this one, Google Collaboration, JilMac, and I'm going to move it there. So now when I look at, and I'm going to say OK. So now when I look at last modified, and I see this new Google Collaboration JilMac that I'll be sharing with you guys soon, when I open this up, I see that JilMac first doc. Now suppose I want to upload this Word version. I can say New, and I can say File Upload. And File Upload, I'm going to upload it from my downloads. And I want to upload this Google document. It's not a Google document, it's a Word document. But you can see that they're named the same name, except this one is a docx. And this is how you know this is a Word document and this is a Google Doc. And if I were to open this Word document that I've uploaded by double-clicking it, it brings it up and it shows me it's in a Word format. So I can look at it, and if I wanted to, I could print it, or I could download it. If I'm sharing this folder with someone, they could download it. I could add people to share, and a whole bunch of things that we're going to be learning. If I wanted to open it, I could open it with Google Docs. But I'm just going to close it right now so that you can see that I have both a Word document and a Google Docs. So what I'd like you to do in this first workshop is you can watch this video again, you can rewind it, you can watch it 100 times. Or if you have questions, you can give me a call. I'd like you to create a document that has your name on it and first doc, and we'll share it in the next class, or I can show you how to share it in an upcoming video. So you guys have a great time with this. Give me a call if you need me, and I will see you in the next video.